Thursday. We are back today. We are talking about recipes. I feel like this is always something that our clients and prospective clients always want to ask us about and know. And variety is key in life for enjoying our food, to thrive with nutrition, and to heal, right? So we wanted to go over our favorite recipes, and we only put a couple in here, but we do have many more. So we're hoping that this will inspire you, but also we're hoping that you put in the comments your favorite recipes so everybody else can find more recipes that they can make. And so we can make more recipes and open our doors a little bit too. So during this live, or if you're watching the replay, post below a link of your favorite recipe or the title, or copy and paste the recipe, whatever you feel is necessary. But if you are new to our community, we are just going to introduce ourselves and we'll get right on sharing our screen with the recipes. So I am Casey Kephart. I'm a functional medicine nutritionist and the founder of the Feel Good Formula. I work with women with all different types of autoimmune diseases to get you back to the activities you love to do, trash your symptoms, get back to your life. I live in St. Petersburg, Florida, where the sun always shines, but it doesn't today, and I got caught in the rain on my run. So hence the wet hair. Jessica?
And I'm Jessica Melnick. I'm a registered holistic nutritionist, the founder of the Anti-Arthritis Method, the host of the Happy Joints Arthritis Solutions Group, and I help both women and men with various forms of arthritis get back to living life the way that they choose to, not the way that they have to. And I live in Saskatchewan, Canada, where we do get quite a bit of sun, but lately it has been very gloomy. So I am like fingers crossed, hoping that today we are going to see the sun because it's been too long. And it's also getting colder here and the days are getting shorter because it is fall. So
yeah, you're coming into like blistering cold weather, aren't you?
Yeah, not till usually January, sometimes December, it gets like painfully cold. So up until now, fall's been pretty decent. But yeah, we're just kind of holding on to every day that we don't have snow and minus 20 and just trying to enjoy that while it lasts.
Well, the first recipe I had to show is something that's really great for cold weather. And Jessica said she just made it the other day. I've been making it for years and it is lovely. So let me present our screen so you can kind of visually see what we're talking about and also kind of see the ingredients as well.
So yes, we're hoping you guys can screenshot these recipes if you're interested in making them. You can also comment on underneath our poster, our live post, and let us know if you'd like us to send you a link to these recipes as well. We can do that if it's too hard to see on the screen. Like Casey was saying, these are some of our most favorite recipes, really simple recipes. The ones I'm going to show, I make double and triple batches of them and freeze them for like the following week or week after. These are things that we really enjoy, food that we think is delicious and that is really nourishing. And if you are struggling with arthritis or an autoimmune disease, these are some great options for you.
Yep. And some are autoimmune protocols, so that is what we teach in our programs, and some are more paleo, which is part of the reintroduction phase. So pick and choose which ones you feel like you would feel the best out of, but these are options again. So this first one is probably the best meatloaf I've ever made and eaten before. So traditional meatloaves have breadcrumbs in it, so gluten. And on AIP or paleo, we are gluten-free. So what's cool about this meatloaf recipe is that you line it with bacon. Yum, right? So we have a lot of vegetables in this meatloaf recipe. We have cauliflower, zucchini, carrots, onions, garlic, and spices. So line it with bacon, and you have a wonderful meatloaf that you can freeze. You can put half of it in the fridge and put half of it in the freezer, and it will last you a couple days if it's just you.
Yeah. Can I add one thing about that recipe, Casey? Just because I tried it the other day.
Yeah.
It's so delicious. So I didn't have fresh thyme, so I used dried, and that turned out great. I also didn't have the 3 different kinds of veggies, so I just used cauliflower. So I put in like 2.5 cups or so of riced cauliflower because that's just what I had on hand, and it was great. It was perfect. So yeah, just so people know, like there's some things you have some wiggle room there. It doesn't have to be exact, because I know sometimes we think, oh my God, well I can't make it because I don't have exactly the right ingredients, but it's flexible with that.
Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't take that long to prep either. And sometimes I prep it during the day and then I just put it in a bowl, put it in the fridge, and then I'll make it at night when I actually want dinner and have it hot. So there's so many different things you can do with it. Okay, so this is one of my favorite desserts I make. I am super into anything lemon and anything yellow, actually. But this is a lemon curd tart. Not super hard to make, not many ingredients at all. It does have a lot of eggs in it. So if you are sensitive to eggs, this may not be the right recipe for you, but if you can handle eggs, no problem. Definitely try this. Eggs, honey, coconut oil, lemon juice, lemon zest, very basic ingredients. And again, it turns out great. The consistency is wonderful. My only complaint about this recipe is that you'll want to eat the whole thing. So try not to do that.
Delicious.
Yeah, no, definitely. I would highly recommend it. So then I just put a couple snacks here that I usually eat during the day that are my favorite. And we both get asked a lot about what can we snack on if we are a snacker, or if we're just trying to get us through till dinner. These are the beef sticks that I eat on a daily or before volleyball. I bring them everywhere with me just so like I'm not going hungry or don't want to eat something I can't eat. I get them on Amazon, super easy. I get them on auto ship. The only thing that wouldn't make these AIP would be the black pepper in them. So if you are in the elimination phase, or if you just don't pair well with black pepper, it causes you a food sensitivity, I would stay away from these. But these are high quality, grass fed, taste great, all the things. So another thing I also do is like a pastrami or salami and then wrap it in goat cheese. This is just something easy for me to do. This is the goat cheese I get from Trader Joe's, although I'm sure there's more out there that you can buy in different textures as well. Notes on the pastrami and the salami, there are very bad qualities of it, and then there's good/okay qualities. And I get the ones that are no nitrates, so nitrate free, no antibiotics. I tend to get like the one that's like no. And that's like the best I could find out there. So I wouldn't just go to the deli and grab any one of them or the cheapest one of them. Make sure it is high quality.
Yes.
Because it is a processed food. So just do your best at that. Here's another goat cheese that I really love from Trader Joe's as well. It's just magnificent. And then I'll do raw broccoli with usually coconut oil, lemon, and salt and spices on there. And I'll just let that marinate in the fridge and just like chew on that whenever I'm hungry or just want something to like hold me over. And it keeps me full as well.
That sounds delicious. I've actually never marinated broccoli like in an oil like that. But I remember as a kid, my mom and my auntie used to make like a marinated vegetable salad. It was usually like a bunch of raw vegetables, like chopped into bite-sized pieces, like cauliflower, broccoli, carrots, sometimes some red onion. But it would just be like coated in a big, like a bunch of Kraft Italian dressing. And it was yummy, but this is so much better if you can make your own dressing. You're not going to get the inflammatory oils. You're not going to get a bunch of sugar. You're not going to get a bunch of other like chemical flavorings and things in there that are really inflammatory, not good for you. So great idea. I love that. That's inspired me to make a marinated vegetable salad. Haven't done that forever.
Love that.
Yeah. All right. So this is one of my favorites. So you can use ground turkey or ground pork for this. So I hope if you haven't noticed already, the theme of these recipes is not low fat. And that's for a reason. So we are more concerned with nutrient density and quality of food over calories. Our bodies, especially if we are in the process of healing or we are ill or struggling, we need lots of nutrients. And so going low fat or no fat is not going to help you. It is safe to eat animal fat. Just go for good quality. So when it comes to pork, make sure you get pastured pork. Organic and pastured, even better. Just get a good quality pork and you will be fine. Same with like turkey or chicken. So this recipe is really versatile. I wouldn't recommend beef for this. It doesn't quite have the same taste, but a ground turkey, chicken, or pork works really well. We've got lots of onion in there, garlic, and then there's a spice mix that I have that you can just mix in a little bowl or ramekin. And so you're just going to brown the meat, and you're going to add first. Well, I saute the onion, then I brown the meat and combine the onion and meat together, and then I add the seasonings on top, mix it up really, really good. Now, this is not AIP. You can take the fennel seeds out, you can take the red pepper flakes and the ground pepper out to make it AIP. It will change the flavor a little bit because the fennel seeds can really add that kind of Italian sausage flavoring to it. So it's basically like sausage, not in a casing. This one is great for just mixing it with roasted vegetables. I eat this, oh gosh, I probably make this once every 2 weeks for sure. And I make a 2-pound batch. It freezes well as well. And it tastes great with roasted vegetables. I usually do a combination of like roasted cabbage and roasted broccoli or cauliflower. Those are two of my favorite combinations. And again, super easy. I truly enjoy eating this. I look forward to it, and it's super simple. My sister actually really likes this recipe too, and she makes meatballs out of it. So very versatile. And the next one, the Korean beef. This one is so delicious. Your family will love it. They're not going to know that it's not, like the traditional Korean beef that's full of tons and tons of sugar. And soy sauce, which often has MSG in it and gluten and all these other inflammatory ingredients. You're going to use coconut aminos instead of soy sauce. And if you are not sensitive to soy, there's other brands of soy sauces that you can get, like Bragg's soy. I believe it's just called soy seasoning, where it's non-GMO, it's not going to have gluten in it, or you can get a gluten-free tamari if you tolerate soy. But if you're not sure, or if you're on AIP, you're going to want to use the coconut aminos. So coconut aminos taste like soy sauce. They are just made out of coconut. So it sounds kind of strange, but trust me, it tastes just like soy sauce. Just a little bit less salty, but you can always add a little bit more sea salt to the recipe to your taste. There is some coconut sugar in there, but coconut sugar itself is much better for you than regular brown cane sugar because it is much lower glycemic and it adds a really nice taste. So it's kind of got that sweet and sour taste. It's also got a lot of fresh ginger in there. Tip about ginger, when you can buy the root, freeze it, and then you can kind of break off chunks, and it's much easier to grate while it's still frozen. I've tried to grate ginger when it is not frozen, when it's just been in the fridge, and it's really hard because it's quite stringy. So that's just my tip to make grating ginger so much easier. So yeah, again, super easy list of ingredients, super easy to cook. You're literally just browning beef and adding the seasonings. And I love it with riced cauliflower. I buy bags of riced cauliflower in the freezer section of Costco. They take like a few minutes to cook and heat up on the stove. I like to saute onion and then add the riced cauliflower to that and then serve the beef on top. But again, it's also great with broccoli, any other vegetables that you like. You can mix it together, have it on the side. It's delicious. And then lastly, this one I wanted to share because it's really great for fall. I don't know what you guys, but the whole pumpkin spice thing, I don't do the pumpkin spice latte because they're way too full of sugar and make me feel ill. But I love pumpkin spice. I love those spices in their raw form in baking. And this is one of my absolute favorite. This is an AIP compliant recipe and it's absolutely delicious. It turns out great. You're going to be using some different flours. So if you're not AIP or paleo, you may not have heard of tiger nut flour. Tiger nuts are actually not nuts. They are small tubers. You can get them in flour form. If you are not sensitive to almonds, you can use almond flour instead. It's also a really good substitute for the tiger nut flour. You're going to be using pumpkin in there. You're going to be using arrowroot flour, some maple syrup. And she also has a note in the recipe. So there's a link there for the recipe as well. You can go straight to it. You can reduce the amount of maple syrup by adding a little bit of neutral flavored oil like avocado oil. I'm sure it would also be fine with olive oil if you wanted to as well. So I usually reduce the maple syrup content and replace it with some avocado oil just because I don't want it to be super sweet and I try to keep my sugar consumption low. And these turn out great. I make 1.5 of the recipe to make a full dozen and they're absolutely delicious. And they just remind me of fall and coziness and Christmassy spices. So those are my top 3 recipes that I've been making lately.
Awesome. Let me get back to this. Perfect. So we hope that helped just inspire you in making varied recipes, but also to just do a quick Google search and do AIP fall recipes, AIP breakfast ideas, paleo desserts, whatever or however you're eating right now. Make sure that you do vary your meals. You make them nutrient dense, which we did a live on last week. If you want to go back and see that that live, and again, put in the chat whether you're watching on the replay or live. Put in the chat your favorite recipes that you like to make for yourself or for your family. And if you want any of the links from what we shared today, we will be happy to provide that for you. Just let us know. And we will be back next Tuesday talking about more exciting things. And until then, have a good weekend, and we will talk to you later.
Yeah, take care, everyone.